Today is a day of mixed emotions for me. It's a deep sense of sadness as I prepare to leave behind an extraordinary chapter of my life, but also immense joy as I've got the opportunity to now to reflect on the meaningful accomplishments and connections that we built together in CADR. I'm currently still Emeritus Professor at Swansea University, but I want to acknowledge the immense gratitude I have for the incredible journey I've shared with many of you in the audience, and it has been fantastic today to catch up with you. As the former director of CADR for those years there, because I couldn't remember when those were. So although I said goodbye in 2019 when I moved to New Zealand, I was still employed by Swansea University part-time on a .2 contract, and I continued to work with CADR and published with the likes of Deborah Morgan, Carol Maddock, Jill Windle, and constantly phoned Reeve and drew on her immense wisdom about managing a centre. As CADR draws to a close, I wanted to take a moment to reflect on the dedication, passion, and hard work that I experienced while I was working in CADR. Now, the research and management team are the backbone of CADR, and from the early days, from formulating those broad research questions for our proposal to Health and Care Research Wales, to the tireless work in community engagement and involvement, data collection, analysis, and publication, you've demonstrated exceptional commitment. And we all know that research was challenging at times, yet you overcome and navigated those hurdles with professionalism and perseverance. If the research and management team are the backbone of CADR, it's the co-creators, the older adults, care partners, and community members who are the arms and legs, bringing the research to life and ensuring its relevance and impact. Your contributions were integral to every stage of the process, from shaping the research questions to guiding implementation and evaluation. By sharing your lived experiences, you made sure the work addressed real-life, everyday challenges that people faced, grounding in the research in practical, community-driven solutions. And your involvement ensured that CADR's work not only speaks to theory, but also to the needs and aspirations of those it aims to serve. And I'm sure you all know that in CADR, ageing had never been viewed solely in terms of health decline and dependency. Rather, it represents an opportunity to harness the skills, experiences, and social contributions of older adults. CADR's work includes research aimed at reducing social exclusion, and we've heard about a lot of these things today, fostering environments where everyone, regardless of age, can play an active role in society. And unfortunately, by choosing not to fund CADR, Healthcare Research Wales has overlooked the potential for research that explores how best to create age-friendly communities, support intergenerational activities, and promote lifelong engagement. But let's celebrate some of the impact of CADR and along the lines that we've already seen and heard about today. I want to focus on some of those ripples of CADR that have been felt around the world. I know Carol has been talking about some of the ripples out in India, but I want to talk about how it's reached some other communities and research centres around the globe, leaving a lasting impact on the field of ageing research. And one of the examples I'm going to draw on is the international influence is on the creation of the Centre for Co-Created Ageing Research at the University of Auckland, of which I've been one of the co-directors for the last 5 years, but was unashamedly inspired by the work of CADR. Create Age was inspired by CADR's commitment to collaborative, community-focused research and its dedication to improve the lives of older adults. It was designed to integrate the values of partnership, inclusivity, and innovation into ageing research in New Zealand. So the Centre for Co-Created Ageing Research, Create Age, now continues CADR's legacy by applying these principles in a new global movement of ageing research that's rooted in respect, empathy, and a shared commitment to enhancing the quality of life across generations. We heard in one of the sessions earlier today that CADR was one of the pilot sites for the UK standards for public involvement, and it played a pivotal role in testing and refining approaches to meaningful engagement with older adults in research. This work allowed CADR to set a high bar for transparency, respect, and collaboration in working with older populations and caregivers, and offering a model of genuine involvement that other research organisations could adopt or adapt. That pilot experience for me was instrumental in shaping a similar set of principles in New Zealand. And it was, oh look, I'm way behind. Let's get up there. Yeah. Inspired by that commitment to CADR's commitment to ethical and inclusive engagement, we drew on the same methods that have been used for those NIHR principles of public involvement to develop a similar set of principles in New Zealand that respect the dignity, autonomy, and lived experiences of older people. They encourage researchers to view older participants not merely as subjects, but as partners whose insights drive research that's relevant and impactful within their communities. The successful model of CADR's research development groups are also being replicated around the other side of the world in New Zealand, where CreateAge funding has supported some of these groups listed on the slide. The last research development group listed there also reflected CADR's goals of nurturing authentic involvement in research and used visual arts, films, audio recordings to help co-creators with dementia develop a study. One of CADR's other research development groups has also had remarkable ramifications around the world. I'm sure many of you know Betty George, who's a well-known Welsh broadcaster and journalist who brought national attention to the realities of dementia caregiving. Her advocacy work started in a highly personal way when she was caregiver for her husband, David Parry-Jones, who was living with dementia. She documented that journey, revealing emotional and practical aspects of caregiving for a person living with dementia, and also highlighted some of the often overlooked issues around incontinence. At the time, I was a care partner for my mother, who had Lewy body dementia, and Betty and I found ourselves talking about incontinence over dinner at the British Society of Gerontology conference that was hosted by Swansea University and by CADR. Yeah, it's not really a dinner talk, but you know, when you're a gerontologist, you find some of these stigmatised and unmentionable subjects popping up with the hors d'oeuvres. Subsequently, Betty did a series of after-dinner speeches which raised money for a CADR research development group to develop a proposal about continence and dementia. So that research development group, funded by Betty, led to a publication and a research agenda for continence and dementia research. And then based on those recommendations, a 3-year project was funded by the Health Research Council in New Zealand. And the project has produced robust estimates of the prevalence and incidence of dementia and incontinence. It's co-created resources for both Māori and non-Māori people with continence and dementia and their care partners, and also new social guidelines for health and care professionals that have international relevance. So Helen Keller said, "Alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much." And a Māori proverb that I've picked up since I've been in New Zealand, and if Sarah's still here, she'll know this one well, says, "He aha te mea nui o te ao, he tangata, he tangata, he tangata." What is the most important thing in the world? It's the people, it's the people, it's the people. Each of you in CADR's community of co-creators brought unique skills and perspectives to CADR. And Healthcare Research Wales, and I'm sorry to bang on about this, but Healthcare Research Wales' decision not to fund CADR not only disregards urgent challenges, but also neglects the rich potential of ageing populations to contribute actively to society. Funding CADR supports research that acknowledges older people as valuable, active participants who enrich communities. By overlooking this, Healthcare Research Wales has missed a chance to leverage ageing as an asset and to foster a more inclusive, supportive society that recognises everyone's role in creating a thriving community. I think that CADR built something meaningful, not just for the academic community, but for older people and families in Wales. The work has contributed to improving the lives of those living with dementia, older people, their families and care partners, which was our goal from the very beginning. And as I reflect on those CADR years, I'm filled with gratitude for the, I'm gonna, no, don't do it, have a drink, have a drink. I'm filled with gratitude for the people who've made this journey so impactful. The work we've done shaping our future generations and our future of ageing research, tackling complex issues and amplifying the voice of older adults has not only touched lives, but has sparked global change. The ripples of CADR's work from Wales to New Zealand and beyond contributes to shape a future where older adults are not seen as passive recipients of care, but of active co-creators of solutions. So we've built something special and we really need to celebrate that. Something that even as CADR draws to a close, will continue to echo in those communities we've worked with, in the research we've shared and in the partnerships we've fostered. And while I transition to a new stage of my life as a retiree, I carry with me a deep sense of pride in what we've accomplished. Diolch yn fawr for being a part of this extraordinary journey. And together we've proven that when we work in partnership, whether through research, community engagement or activism, that's going to be my future, we can truly make a difference. Thank you, everyone.